All right, good morning. It's May 6th, about 9:05 in the morning. Today I'm going to show you how to make a custom caustic solution, okay? One that's for health benefits, one for your own peace of mind, whatever it is that you feel this will do for you. I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? The very beginning, okay, ingredients that you will need at the very least, okay, is a way to boil water. All right, this one's done by induction, okay, like 15 bucks or so on Amazon, if you have access to it. Otherwise, just regular boiling water, okay. You're going to need a 100% lye, okay, which is the drain opener that you can usually find, at least here in America, at the local smaller hardware stores. They have it. This particular one was $3.49. Okay, you only need one for what you're doing here, maybe two. Okay, that's your base. That's all you need to start. Okay, anything else that you add from here is in addition to the graphene that you're trying to create. Okay, off of your copper wire. Okay. This used to be a black piece of, or just a regular piece of copper. Okay, I put copper tape over the top of it. It was what was it? Oh, a baseball card. Okay, and I put copper tape on both sides. I put it inside of this plastic bag, and I put a couple of squirts from my container for my caustic solution that we're about to make. Okay. It's this caustic solution using the 100% lye, okay, and the potassium hydroxide here that turns this black. The black is the nano coating. It's the dark matter that you are attracting to the surface of the copper, okay? And whatever you put into your initial caustic with the boiling water, okay, like all the other supplements that I've got here now, okay, when you put that in there, that energy is stored in that nanomaterial, okay? This particular method breaks down all of your elements, okay, to its individual element. Just because you put, you know, marijuana or the Super C complex or, you know, the calcium, magnesium, and zinc supplement here, okay, it's going to break it down into its light version, okay, the nanomaterials or the dark matter version of calcium, magnesium, and zinc, okay? And all of the elements that make up marijuana, all right, are going to be broke up into their individual elements. It's not going to be marijuana, okay? But you're going to receive all of the elements that are within marijuana, okay? If you want the outcome of marijuana, the complete plant, then there's a different method to utilize the plasma technology, okay? Or alchemy as it's called. Now, keeping that in mind, for me, whenever you hear Mike talk about making a caustic solution, okay, my very basic is the lye and the potassium hydroxide, okay? Those are my base. Okay, especially when I'm making C-GANs or I'm using any other kind of caustic, this is how I make it, okay? I make a concentrated version so that I don't have a whole bunch of liquid all at once, and I let it cool, and then I add it to my little containers, my spray bottle containers, where I can dilute it down with regular water and still get the same effect, okay? For this particular workshop, I will be adding these various supplements, okay, to my caustic solution. Okay, these are 5,000 UI for vitamin D, okay, and I don't know what these are, 500 milligrams for turmeric, extra The root, anyways, you get the idea here, okay? That doesn't matter. You're still breaking it down to its individual, okay? I'm making a custom caustic today for body health because my entire family has been attacked, I guess, by a chest cold that just won't go away. We've all got this cough, and it's ridiculous. So I'm going to counter that, and I'm going to make my own solution to make sure that my body is as healthy as it can possibly be. Okay. So you saw the 4 supplements here. All right. If you don't have, potassium hydroxide, you can use a supplement, or you can burn a banana. Okay, peel and all, burn it, and use the ashes from the banana to add to your caustic solution, and you get the same, same effect here. You just want the element of potassium. Okay, so you can use a supplement. You can use the potassium hydroxide. Okay, this will turn all of your nanomaterial, all of your copper wire into really shiny, almost a blue-black color. Okay, so when you see some people out there, it's great for the health pins for just using that, the potassium hydroxide, because it removes pain. All right, it does the same thing that when you eat a banana, it helps feed your muscles, and it helps the soreness and the stiffness, like if you go to the gym or whatever. If you eat a banana, you feel better. Well, we're utilizing the potassium in there. Okay, and that's why we use this caustic. Okay, now the idea here is that you got to play it safe. Okay, because this is probably the most dangerous part of utilizing plasma technology, and it's required that you have adult supervision and you've got some knowledge of chemicals and how to negate any issues that might come up. Okay. First things first is that you're starting out with boiling water. All right. So the temperature of the water is boiling. You're adding the boiling water to the dry powder of your 100% lye and your potassium hydroxide. Okay. This is going to give you a it's going to raise your temperature of the water even more. Okay, so it's starting out at boiling, and then when it interacts with these two, okay, it's going to take that boiling temperature and go above boiling. All right, and it's going to continue to raise up, and that's what we're trying to do here, is to get that temperature of the liquid above boiling. All right, you make this, okay, and you can make it in smaller quantities. Okay, for CGANs, when you make the initial liquid, okay, you don't have to add all the supplements into it because the ocean already has all those supplements. Okay, but when you make the initial one and you add your boiling water to it, it starts to pop and spatter and do all of that. Okay, you want to use a canning jar of some sort, a jelly jar, anything that's tempered glass here. Okay, you don't want to use anything that's not tempered glass because you run the risk of it shattering because the temperatures are too hot. Okay, if you're going to use plastic, then use a fairly thick plastic that can handle heat. Otherwise, you'll have a big old goo of a mess, and you can learn from my experience and maybe some others. Okay, so utilizing a tempered glass jar to create your caustic solution is always the best method. All right, remember, you're going to this glass temperature is going to be super hot, so you need to take the precautions for, or at least be aware, all right, how to handle the jar. Make sure you got vinegar on standby in case you get a splatter on you of some sort, because remember, this is superheated liquid. All right, and if it splatters on you, it's going to burn a hole into your skin. Okay, so You know, if you're inexperienced with this, you don't know how it's going to react, or you're not sure, use gloves, use protective masks. Okay, do this stuff outside because it produces sometimes it can produce some toxic gases. Okay, so you know, depends on what you're mixing. Know your chemicals. Okay, never mix the powder with the boiling water. Always mix the boiling water into the powder. Okay, those are simple rules. Okay, and of course you've always got to remain safe. All right, so use gloves, use long sleeves, use, you know, whatever. Okay, all of these experiments that you're trying, you're doing on your own free will. Okay, I don't lead by example when it comes to the making of the caustics and whatever, because it affects me differently. Okay, I could put my hand inside of a bag that's got cold caustic in it, and it'll feel like I've just got soap on my fingers. Okay, whereas some other people will put their hand inside the cold caustic, and it will create really big, nasty looking sores. Okay, so do what your body can handle. Use protection when needed. Okay, when you feel that it's needed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug my water container in. Okay, so now I've got my water heating. Okay, I have my tempered jar. While my water is boiling, okay, it won't take very long with this one. Won't take very long with this induction heater. But while I'm doing this, I'm waiting. I'm going to break down my supplements. Okay, and I'm only taking about 2. These 2 are my zinc, calcium, and magnesium. Okay. This is my Super C complex. Okay. I've got 4 of these vitamin D. Okay. You got to remember that vitamin D, all right, it says 5,000 IU. All right. When you go to the lake and you spend all day at the lake, you are absorbing between 15 and 20,000 IU of vitamin D. Okay. So adjust your supplements accordingly. Okay. There was a whole bunch of holistic doctors that were murdered because they found out that the enzyme or a protein or something that they were putting in the vaccines was inhibiting the vitamin D uptake into the body. Okay. And that tells me that when they inhibit the vitamin D uptake in the body, that the sun can heal anything. Okay, and they were deliberately blocking that. So what we're doing here is we're going to try and counter that. All right. So just remember that each one of these is about 5,000 UI or IUs. Okay, and you know, an average day at the lake is 15 to 20,000 IUs. So you can take 4 or 5 of these supplements and you'd be just fine. You can take 10 of them because you can't OD on vitamin D. All right. It can only make you better. So I suggest that you take 4 or 5 of these at a time. Okay. I'm not a doctor. Do what your body can handle. All right. If you've got capsules, okay, like this turmeric comes in, okay, I always break open the turmeric or any of these capsules and I will put it into my container. Okay, so we're going to start with the turmeric. Okay, empty your powders out. You don't want to add too much stuff to your mixture here because, you know, I only need one actually for this. So I'm going to utilize just one. Okay, I'm going to drop my vitamin D in there, okay, because they're a liquid automatically. And now I've got these little things that I want to crush and utilize. So let's do something cool. Just using a piece of copper tape here. Now, get yourself something pretty heavy. Okay. Give it a few good whacks. Okay. I want to break it up as much as possible. Okay. Obviously, some are stronger than others. Okay. Doesn't have to be in a full fine powder, all right, but it does need to be broke up. Okay. Add that to your mixture. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to add some of this dried marijuana bud, okay, to the inside of this. And you're just basically going to make a tea, okay? But you're going to use boiling water and concentrated wood ash, all right? So now, this is what we've got is all of our supplements in there, okay? My water is boiling down here. And so I'm pretty good at eyeballing my stuff, but if you want to measure it, you can use, you know, I use about 3 or 4 tablespoons of the lye, all right? Because remember, the lye is going to increase the temperature, okay? So now I've got a little bit in there, all right? And the same with the potassium hydroxide. Okay, and I'm using about half as much of the potassium hydroxide as I am the lye because the temperature is already rising, all right, from being in here. So one of the things that I need to do is make sure that I have something that's going to catch any overflow from here. So what you can see here is that I've just got a container, all right? Container within a container here. Back this up for safety reasons, not to get my laptop all messed up. Okay. And now you can see all of the things that we've added to this. Okay, the turmeric, the vitamin D, the calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Okay, the super C complex. All of these supplements have been added in here now. Okay. And on top of it, we've added the potassium hydroxide and the sodium hydroxide. Currently, my water is boiling down here. Okay. And now I will add the boiling water. You can see the steam coming off of it to my mixture. Now, I'm going to pour it very, very slow. Okay. You can see it reacting. fill up your jar about halfway, okay, and let the reaction happen. If you add water too fast, this is going to blow up, okay, and splatter and overfill like the volcano, okay, when you add vinegar to baking soda. All right? And so I'm filling this jar up about 3/4 of the way with this boiling water. Okay? Now I know that this jar is super hot now. All right? So I've always got to be careful of it. Okay? I don't do anything else with my caustic until this is cold. Now, if there is something that I feel would benefit from dipping in here, okay, then I can go ahead and dip it while it's still hot. All right? But remember, don't get your fingers on it. Okay? So I'll use this right here because I want to dip this in this hot caustic and I want to see what it's going to look like. All right? So it barely fits into my jar. I'm going to just dip it in there and pull it back out. Okay? That's all I got to do with it. All right? You can seal that back up in a plastic container and it'll be black here in a little while. All right? So I'm just going to do this for a few of the items that I've got sitting here on my desk that I think would benefit. Okay? Remember, this is all super hot. Now, if I was to make some sea gans, immediately after I had poured that water in there and it stopped fizzling, I would have taken 2 teaspoons, okay, of this hot liquid and added it to a gallon of seawater, just regular cold seawater, okay? And had I been able to do that, okay, you would be able to see the neutrinos or the GANs being formed directly on or directly in that jar, okay? So as you can see, I'm just dipping these things in here. A few of the designs that I've made over the last week or so, okay? The whole point is to bring them alive with nano coating. So if you never nano coat them, how are they going to become alive? Okay, so I mean, I'm just trying different things. I'll stick them out, put them in here. Okay, and that's how you make a caustic. Okay, you let this cool. Okay, it'll take a couple hours for it to cool, and then you can find yourself, you know, your little spray bottles, things like that. Put your spray bottles. As you can see in here, I've got the plastic tube, okay, for the spray bottle cut about 1 inch or so from the bottom. All right, when it's cut that far, that means that all these nanomaterials, okay, that you can see getting mixed up are all sinking to the bottom. Okay, and when you mix it up like this, you're energizing the water. All right, so that means that you can add some of this nanomaterial to your containers, all right, and leave about 1 inch of it in the bottom. And when you do, you can take that and keep adding water to it, and it'll dilute it down a little bit at a time, okay? But you still have the nanomaterials in there that will cause you to create the graphene on your copper, okay? All right. Are there any questions, guys? Now's the time to ask these questions. Okay, I'm going to move my boiling water here to a safe location. I'll put the lid on this container, and hopefully in a couple hours, these little devices that I just dipped in there will turn black. Okay. Are there any questions? All right. That's going to conclude this class on making a caustic solution. All right, Dora, if you don't mind, can you please stop recording?